Palms in?
I'm pretty sure it's...
Palms out. For solo players.
Now I'm questioning it. Jesus.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Dungeon of the Mad Mage. This is session 173. Oh my goodness. These are the conversations that we have while the camera's off. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump into tonight's episode with a little bit of a recap, shall we? Previously, in the Dungeon of the Mad Mage, the party found themselves once again in the feast hall of Ezrah, Legion Commander. They had called the Legion to war against House Avrindar, but without knowing precisely when and how that war would be prosecuted. Fortunately, that didn't seem to deter the Legion. If anything, the promise of battle seemed to reignite purpose within the hobgoblins, and the war machine roared to life. Amidst the flurry of activity, the party spoke privately with Lurkana. They had only rumors to impart, but the presence of the Death's Head mercenaries, a company of hobgoblins, seemed like a lead on Ezrah Cog, Lurkana's missing son. And while she couldn't be certain, the title Doom Crown seemed reminiscent of her son's youthful fantasies.
More wine.
But pursuing this lead was a long time away, and fortunately, Lurkana too seemed caught up in the fervor of war. The party would have time to investigate further and hopefully reunite mother and son. For now, their journey took them up, away from the hustle and bustle of the Legion as it came to life, back into the cold, arcane chambers. They stopped by the hidden stores of Malarkin Ale to refill their stock, and then, unexpectedly, happened upon Nindeltath and the Second Octave in the ruins of the Tall Market. Apparently, the Silver Dragon's passage had been barred by the Dragon Ward, and he was being investigated as to whether he was a threat to the city of Waterdeep. Fortunately, shortly after the party arrived, so too did the Blackstaff, Vajra Safar, and the Dragon Ward himself, Aranax. While there was some initial tension, and it was obvious that Vajra thought poorly of the party's decision, Nindeltath was given the right to pass through the Dragon Ward and into the city of Waterdeep, but only for 2 days, and under the custody of Aranax and the party. It was also understood that the members of the Second Octave would be waiting in the wings should anything go awry. And so, the motley assortment of individuals made their way up to the yawning portal. The party's return was celebrated, their growing fame and celebrity garnering them attention in more ways than one. One such type of attention came as Bones and Ezrah were briefly accosted by some thugs, which was very strange because it seemed as if the two ruffians, Ball and Lead, were under the impression that the party were easy marks. After displaying that they were indeed not, Bones offered their ally Volo a reward should the scamp figure out why the thugs were under that impression. After a brief moment of celebration, the party headed home, though with a much larger entourage than normal, for they were accompanied by a direwolf, a Zorn, and 2 disguised dragons. But then this was the City of Splendors, where such things were possible, if not quite commonplace. It also helped that the dead of winter meant significantly fewer people out on the streets to make a fuss over their particular entourage. Though there were gatherings, folk in furious preparation for the morrow's festivities. Midwinter had come. Sled races, snowball fights, and ice skating would just be the start of the next day's activities. Then, of course, would come the merrymaking, with the Feast of Shialia a prime focus for many Waterdavians who sought to honor and show appreciation to their animal companions and the many beasts of burden that keep Waterdeep running. In fact, it is as the party arrives back at the Lifted Spirits that they discover many of their employees already have plans for such a celebration on the morrow. After convening with Sine and spending some time in conversation with their dragon guests, the party retires, spending their first night quite some time out of the dungeon of the Mad Mage. And even the most restful of them dreams of shadow.
I would have domed up on my bed after the last
Even the
assassination
most
attempt.
restful of them dreams
I'm
of
just saying.
shadow. You can't dome up your mind, Ezra.
Oh, I can try.
Immediately
It is kind
mind
of dome
blanks.
shaped.
As soon as he can get it, mind blank. Oh, fuck. Okay, so that is
That's
where we
cheating.
find our party. But before we jump into actual activities, we have a couple of little bookkeeping things to have happen. So, I do want to point this out, that this is Moss-Covered Rock Near Stream's first journey up to the surface, first journey up to the city of Waterdeep.
Actually, I didn't realize he came. Yeah. All right.
Mossy has been here the whole time. He has traveled through the portals with you, and
He's so sick.
just kind of like unassumingly come up into the city of Waterdeep. In point of fact, actually, something that probably would have been noticed, Mossy is incredibly heavy. But when he got on the lift going up into the yawning portal, it's almost as if he was light as a feather, right? So there are some interesting properties that happen there depending on the overall weight of a creature. Anyways, yeah, Mossy is with you. Wolf is with you, although you know, Matashtai, you have experienced this before, right? You know that if you rest, right, like, or as the day passes, Wolf vanishes, right? And will need to be resummoned should you wish to have his company. But Mossy is with you. You have 2 dragons, a silver and a gold dragon on your couches, basically, just hanging out. And there are a couple of other things that we to roll for. So before we roll for anything else, I need Bones, Zach.
That's me. I'm here.
I need you to roll a d20. I say a d20. Yeah, we're just gonna roll a d20.
Critical 20. Natural success.
Natural. Hell yes.
This, I don't know what I'm rolling for. I rolled it.
This roll, right, was to check and see how much of an impact the chandelier that you and Ochotu worked on together prior to you leaving Waterdeep last time, how much of an impact has that had on the decor of the Wormbone, right? Like, was it a good piece that has garnered attention? Do people flock to it? Do they talk about it? Do they share that information with others? Or is it just kind of okay? Or is it downright hideous? Do people actively mock it? On a natural 20, that is a prime fucking piece, and will actually net you a +3 bonus to the rolls for the Wormbone going forward.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put that down as basically a masterwork chandelier.
Yeah.
So this is functioning in the same way that trophies function for the lifted spirits, right? So when you all have trophies on display, we basically roll a check for them depending on what they are to see how successful they are in garnering attention, right? In drumming up, business and that type of stuff, drumming up your reputation. And this chandelier has done a very good job. So very nice. Yeah. Which is cool. That actually means we now need to do some rolls for both the Lifted Spirits Tavern and the Wormbone. So, I need someone to roll for the Lifted Spirits.
We need.
They are rolling a 1d100.
I'm on it.
Hopwa!
Never mind.
Hopwa!
Can we take Mitch's? Not that either of them are notably great.
I will let you both roll a d20, and whoever rolls higher, we take that person's.
Yeah, rollies.
Please.
Ooh, 14's. Oh! Oh! Oh, no, never mind. Sorry, it was a 4 and a 14. I thought it was two 14s. I thought it was two 14s. I was like, oh, that's cool. But no, it's a 4 and a 14. My bad. Okay, well, then we take Ezra. Sorry, Ezra.
Such is life.
Sorry,
So
Bezra.
a 31.
Yay.
Here's the fun thing. You have an establishment that has been earning a reputation, has been in business for a little while, and has a very wealthy owners that do a lot of things to make sure that it is somewhat successful. So even with the roll of a 31...
Did
What?
we still have the did I lose the illusion now that I lost the spell?
Nope, that's
okay.
that is a
That stayed
permanent
up?
casting. That stays
Okay.
up. You have lost access to
Did
cast the
anyone
spell.
come and dispel it?
No, nobody came and dispelled it. Nope. That would have been fucked up.
I mean, we've made some enemies.
Oh,
so...
God. Yikes. Oh. Question mark. There we go. Okay. Sorry, I'm having to do math.
I
You will go.
am sorry.
31
what?
plus
Hey.
33 plus 10 plus 13 plus... Oh, the minus... Even with a roll of a 31, you guys get a 91 on your
Jesus.
outcome. And that is a factor of being now relatively famous heroes of Waterdeep, right? Being wardens of the High Road, having a very, robust, well-paid staff, doing things like marketing, paying for ads in the leaflets and things like that, doing things like trophies and signs, etc., etc. So those are all big deals. So you guys get a 91. A 91 puts you in a fun bracket. I need someone else, someone other than Ezra or Matt. No, you know what? Actually, I'll just handpick. Because Zach's going to roll some stuff for the Wormbone. Jay, I need you to roll 8d12 for me.
8d12. All right.
Don't think about
D12.
Constitution saving throws. Do not
Okay.
think about Constitution saving
Strength saving throws with advantage. Ha!
With advantage.
44.
throws. Hey, only 1-1. We'll take those.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay. Sure. So not like a crazy week or anything like that. After paying for the various bits and bobs, there is a net profit of 105 gold from the lifted spirits. Do you guys want to do the normal 10 back into the business?
Yes.
Okay. Sounds good. And I assume this motion says just put it into the savings of the business?
Yep.
I will go over to the inventory. And, wow. There is 1,475 gold in the savings of the lifted spirits.
Man, we're about to get robbed.
No,
It's
right?
not just it's in the bank. It's not just in the lifted
not
spirits.
It's
Yeah.
not in Troll
It's-
Skull.
Yes. Yeah.
It's in the mattresses.
It's in the mattresses. Other things
No,
to
we
note.
know people cut mattresses. It's in...
That's true.
Yeah, right.
What? Well, what do you mean?
Other things to note, because it is the end of a month. At the end of every month, employees roll to gain experience and see if they level. Cine did actually level to veteran status this month, And Anastas leveled to experience status this month, and I think this is very important to put out. Specifically, Cine leveled regardless, but specifically, Anastas would not have leveled without the +1 that all of the employees got with Ezra's tutelage. I say quote unquote tutelage. That day that Ezra spent walking around and talking with all of the employees and asking what was going on and what did they need to do their jobs better, etc., etc. That type of situation. So Anastas actually gained an experience level off of that.
Supportive management actually
Supportive
makes
management
a difference?
actually mattered in this particular instance. So very nice. Congratulations. Okay, so there is that. Let me double check and see if anything. Nope, we're good. And then we are on to the Wormbone.
on.
I need a D100 roll from Zachariah.
33. I did it. Rolled.
33. Okay. All right, that ends with a 72 as total score.
Woo!
And I need 2d8 rolled.
Boom. 8. Roasted.
Not the most lucrative week for you. After paying for a Chotu, you made 30 gold at the Wormbone.
Man, that's pretty sick, actually.
I mean, yeah, it's
I
got
could put 3 children through college.
stuff going on.
Whoops.
Do you want to put 10 gold back into the business, or do you want to take all 30?
Nah, put it all back. We need to make money.
Well, you can only put up to 10 gold into advertising. So
Put the $10 back then.
sounds like a plan. Okie dokie. And I will note. I'm not. Do you want me to put aside a savings for the Wormbone, or are you just gonna pocket the 20? It's up to you. Well, let me move on over to the expenses tab, because that might sway your decision, because it's the end of the month. So end of the month means monthly expenses. Ezra, you got a pony in a stable that you need to pay 10 gold for.
Roger.
10 gold a month for fucking a pony? Holy shit, bro. Yep. Ain't nobody allowed to have nothing in this town.
Horses are fucking expensive.
One platinum
Matashtai,
paid.
Gallant costs you 15 gold per month to stable in the Tower March. So that is yours. Ashes, you have 5 gold a month for your dues at the Guild of Apothecaries.
Right.
And then Bones owes 100 gold. 80 for renting out the workshop, the Wormbone, to the Guild of Fine Carvers. 10 gold for your dues to the Guild of Fine Carvers, and then 10 gold for your money exchanging scenario with the Guild of Fine Carvers. So
yeah, we're paper paying.
His licensing fee.
Basically, right? Like you're on the fly situation, so
What
that you don't have to go
80?
through the taxes of Waterdeep.
What was it, 80?
It was
Damn.
100 total, but if you want to just drop the 20 gold from Wormbone, that's 80 instead.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
Sounds good?
Already doing tax evasion.
Basically, immediately.
Goes
All right.
from a drug dealer to a fraud.
Look.
Yep.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Look, he's not a fraud. He is a master. Well, not quite a master yet. He is an expert craftsman who
Like I said,
realizes that Waterdeep wants their fucking money.
He's a magic cat.
Another
I'm gonna
thing of
become-
note,
I'm gonna
I
become a master.
believe. Well, sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna become a master. I'm gonna make one awesome thing, and then I'm gonna go and like
Retire.
live on a farm and smoke all day.
Right? Like, I do want to throw this out there again. You guys you do realize lavishly wealthy at this point. Well, maybe not lavishly, but pretty fucking wealthy at this point. Any one of you
we're
could
the
walk
upper
away.
middle class.
Like, having 1,000 platinum, for example,
Who is
right,
1,000
is-
platinum? Jesus Christ, who's
Or-
holding on to money? God damn it, Mitchell.
Well, there's nothing for me to buy. Anything I would want to buy is like 100,000.
or just not even that, like having, 500 gold is basically the equivalent of $50,000, right? Like,
Yeah.
like it's not small amounts of money that you guys are walking around with here. So, you are quintessentially that kind of like adventuring stock of Waterdeep, where it's like the city has this thriving, commoner economy and noble class, and then there's just these fucking adventurers that everyone's just like, oh boy, here the adventurers go again, adventuring.
And now we know why there's a Deadpool at the yawning portal.
Yep.
Hope these motherfuckers die.
That look.
Here I go adventuring again.
Anyways, okay, so, other things potentially of note. I have this little like fucking sheet. I hate it. Ashes. I believe, if I am not incorrect, when you guys took probably you had to take like a dray because you had so many people, a regular carriage wouldn't work. But when you had to step out into the wintry winds and chill snows of Waterdeep, it wasn't an especially pleasant experience having left your winter garb behind.
I mean, I'm still
You're still resistant to cold. Yeah, but just
but yeah, I will definitely feel how nippy it is because fake Halaster stole my fucking
I just
jacket.
had this fucking like heading. Don't forget, Ashes left his fucking
Ashes-
winter coat
Ashes
in
is
Dwemercore. Like, what the
colder
fuck?
than normal.
Ashes is minorly
Got
colder
your
than
coat.
normal. Cool.
I'm like,
Fantastic.
ugh.
I need everyone to roll a Constitution saving throw and
No.
a Wisdom saving throw.
Oh,
Okay, I'm
don't
okay with that.
Take my
Said
day
everyone?
away.
Con. I bet the wisdom is for the. Ooh.
What does
Going
this have
well,
to do with? Do I
going
get
well.
advantage on anything? I get
There's
advantage on
con.
Constitution. I always
What do you get
on it.
advantage on?
I don't know. Things, stuff.
Wiz.
I mean, if I know
He
what you
gets
get
advantage on
Sorry, on-
Constitution because he's a.
I mean, I get that for sure.
Okay. You get Wisdom advantage on anything?
I don't know. Do I?
No.
Do you?
I don't know. Do I?
Then no.
Damn, that hovered on 1 per second.
Woo! Okay.
That tracks.
7 con, 16 con, 11 con, 14 con.
You know what I have anymore?
Jeremy, if I ever think about rolling a low whiz character ever again, don't let me, because this is driving me fucking bonkers.
Immediately let you. Got you. Okay. Encourage you
time I
to
roll
take
high
lower
whiz.
wisdom. Understood.
I hate it. Thanks, I hate it.
All right. And then for wisdom, we had a 9, 12, 4, 15. Ay, 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 ay. Cool.
I lost a holiday, boys.
Wonderful. Wunderbar.
Wunderbar.
Fantastic. Bones, you wake up in the middle of the night, as you feel fangs pierce the side of your hip.
Bang?
Fangs pierce the side
Oh,
of your
shit.
hip. You wake up cursing. Your natural reflexes are so fast, your hand shoots down, grabs this black snake out from under your bedding. What do you do?
Dude, there's a fucking viper
There's
biting
a
on me?
snake in you're in a hammock, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in a hammock.
There's
I'm
a
the gag.
snake in your hammock, and it has bit your thigh. And you can
Shit.
feel
man,
it
he's got fucking
burning and
snake.
pulsing.
Fight it back.
I don't want to bite it back. Oh,
It could
Oh,
also be
okay.
poisonous.
Yeah,
no.
hold on. I would like to use my nature ability to determine how fucked am I.
Actually, in all honesty, most venomous things are poisonous because if you eat them,
The venom is there. Yep.
Okay, I know about nature and shit. I want to determine how fucked am I.
Absolutely. Roll me a nature check.
It's a 20.
This is bad.
Yeah.
This is real bad. This is absolutely a pit viper of some sort, right? You're not 100% sure about the typing, but all of the ones that you know of this kind of like discernible shape, size, etc. If a poison or if the venom does not kill you within a matter of hours, it could necrotize the inside of your thigh and you could lose your leg.
Okay, let me ask you this. I'm a dwarf.
Uh-huh.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You have the properties of a dwarf.
I have advantage against saving throws against poison, and I'm resistance against poison.
Sure. That might make the difference. It absolutely might.
Let me factor that in. It's in my leg, not my hand, right?
It is in your thigh. Yes.
Okay. Very good. I will.
You feel burning kind of like start to move up to your groin.
Not my cat.
Uh-oh.
Penis. I will.
Also moving down. It's just you can feel it more moving up the bloodstream.
Okay. I will.
Towards your heart.
Okay. The people are very far away. The druids.
This
None of
time of
us-
the night, trying to get across the city, it could be an hour or two.
I go and I wake up Matt. Say, Matt, I need you to punt. Matt, wake up! I'm shaking on him.
But okay, Matt, you hear Bones poof kind of like barge into your room.
Matt, I got bitten.
Okay, I wake up, just kind of shake it off. What?
Matt, I got bitten.
Matt,
I need to suck
you
the venom
are-
out with your fist.
You are groggy. That -3. I think you're still technically at the -4. It hasn't quite
Hasn't
rolled.
gotten
No,
full
no.
rest.
You
I'm
did
working
your
on
first
getting
one,
to
right?
3.
Or is this the first one?
This is the first.
This is the first one.
Okay, you're still at that kind of -4, so it's like, oh god, like everything's a little stiff. You're a little foggy. It's a little slow, right? Like, and you got this cat yelling at you.
Matt, I got bit. Matt, look at this thing. It bit me.
I got it. Oh shit!
He's holding out his hand, and there's nothing in his hand.
Matt, this thing bit me.
There's nothing there.
Yes, there is. It's a venomous viping snaker.
I slapped my hand through where he's hanging.
There's
thing.
nothing in your hand.
Okay, but does my leg still burn though?
Why would it?
Okay, but like I need you to I don't know, heal my leg really fast just in case.
He's got his pants down, right? Or assuming Bones wears
Oh yeah.
boxers or something, briefs, pants, whatever, pajamas. He's
Underwear.
exposed a portion of his thigh, right? There's nothing there. I mean, there's hair and thigh muscle.
I slap him in the thigh anyway.
What? No.
Yes, that's very wet.
Whoa, what?
He's been chewing on a seal.
Oh, God.
Timing.
Appropriate. Oh God,
Oh, no.
he's massacring that seal.
wet. I
Oh,
can see the
goodness.
wet.
Yeah, I can see the line of wetness. Absolutely.
Ugh.
Okay, Matashtai, you slap him on the thigh, and you're gonna use your hand of healing to expend a key point and like
Cure poison.
get rid of a poison,
Yeah.
right? Bones, you feel this kind of like rush permeate your body as you feel Matashtai's key wash over you, in an attempt to kind of like quick version microwave any foreign poison bodies in your body. You feel fine.
All right, well, I feel much better, thanks. I don't know where that snake got to. You better watch out.
You all right?
Yeah, there was a snake.
Just have a bad dream?
No, there was a snake. It bit me. I had it in my hand. It's gone now.
I see no bite. I see no snake. Think you just had a bad dream there, bud.
No. Okay, look. There's this thing. All right. It's from Maztica. Okay. It's called a mind viper. Okay. That's what this was. I'm 100% certain.
Udamon,
right.
let me open my notes and put Mind Viper from Maztica in here.
No, really though, I don't know what happened. I had a snake and now it's gone. Stop. Put your little mouth down. You got it snatched up.
You just go back to bed,
Oh,
Bones?
there he is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I go prowl around for a while, make sure I'm okay.
Okay. Matashtai, Bones leaves you. And as he does, closing the door, right, you hear this kind of like hiss as the door closes.
I hear a hiss?
Yeah.
Where?
It's in your room.
No, it's coming from Bones leaving the room.
Can you fart?
Oh, that damn fucking snake dagger. I kind of yell after Bones. Bones!
Huh? Yeah, what?
Maybe put away the snake dagger for a while.
You realize you look down and it's strapped to his calf on his other leg.
Yeah, I need it for protection.
Maybe use a different one.
This is the best one. It's the most sharp.
It is the most sharp.
I believe you. But I think you should try using another one for a while.
I'll think about it.
Ashes busts in. Matt, I've got a snake! I got bit!
God damn it!
I'm holding nothing.
Oh, okay.
I rip my pants off like they're tearaway jeans.
Starts dancing. There's this beat, this just like pulsing rhythm that's coming from the walls. You're all hallucinating really bad.
Oh, great.
I'll go back to my room and I'll try and replace the snake dagger with not the snake dagger.
Take the snake dagger off. Put what? Heartseeker?
Sure.
Windspike?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll say goodbye, my sweet. And then I'm gonna go prowl around.
Go prowling for a little bit, trying to accomplish anything?
Yeah. Oh, just like no, just prowl around, clear my head.
That's good. Prowl around for a little while, do cat things, and get some fresh air, and then eventually head back to bed.
Back to the map.
Simple, easy
The
peasy.
map.
Okay. Congratulations, you all gain the benefits of a long rest. Matashtai.
Yay! I love hitting the long rest button.
I think we
Matashtai,
already
Long rest
did.
button.
you are down to a -3 on your stuff.
You suck less.
No, he's
I mean,
cool.
it's still, you still
Less
suck a
suck.
lot. It's just a little bit less.
You've gone from like superhuman to just pretty
Yeah.
okay. You know?
Exceptional human.
Yeah, right. Basically.
Human? What do you mean human?
Oh, true.
I mean, he's
True.
not an
My
alien
point.
right now. He don't have a spirit.
Well, that's fair.
Well, does
What
the
makes the
spirit-
alien? Does the alien
Yeah.
is
Ah,
it because he's a
interesting.
spirit or is it because he's from a
No,
different
he's
world?
extraterrestrial. He's
That's
from
fair.
a different planet.
That is true. But what really made him alien was
I mean,
the
realistically,
quarters.
you guys are all the aliens. I'm from a normal planet.
You came here. Fuck off.
Yeah,
Well, I
who's the
mean,
illegal
if-
one,
if
really?
You're still aliens.
I mean, and that's technically true. We are aliens to one another.
But just maybe we can become friends.
Can I go phone home? Jesus Christ.
I want to go home. All right. You wake up. To a loud banging. Like repeated.
The dragons.
Not like a on the door or anything like that, but like this. I don't know, like someone taking a bat to the side of a building type situation.
I mean, Ezra wakes up early just in general, so
Sure.
he would be immediately.
You are all
If he's still in bed, he would immediately jump up and.
you're all alerted as and are able to look out your windows and you see at first it's disturbing because there's only one of them and you're kind of like concerned but then you see another one coming from down Delzin Street or Delzorin. And then you hear kind of like a third, and you realize there are several of these. You see these guys in very heavy winter clothing, which with what looks to be like pails, like metal pails, on their heads. And they're carrying around like this wooden flat like board, almost kind of like a pizza steel type scenario. But it's really thick and kind of sturdy, and you see their hand is kind of like bound to the back side of it, so it's easier for them to carry, so they're not just like holding a handle. And they've got these like wooden slats or like sticks that they're whack.
Bring out your dead.
Walk around a little bit. What? But they're not like walking to any corners or saying anything or anything like that. They're just kind of like walking aimlessly around.
I feel like I recognize this as a tradition.
Roll me a
Because
history
I was
check.
here last year.
Yeah.
I was here last year.
Roll me a history check.
I'll be right back, guys.
18.
18. You might have heard something, but I don't
Not
think
to this.
I don't think you spent your time previously in the North Ward, and this is a kind of specific little
Okay, then.
scenario to them. Waterdeep's a huge city. It has a myriad of different cultures, a myriad of different like festivals, and all throughout the city there are different things that happen during the different holidays in different wards differently, right? I spoke about this previously. One of the common things that happens on Winterdeep is the worship or kind of like buying off the worship of Talos. But that really only happens in the Duck Ward and a little bit in the Sea Ward, right? You're all a little like confused about what the fuck is happening here. Until a few moments later, you see the figures moving through the snowbanks. You see these little bulges in the snowbanks.
Nope.
What's happening? Are we under attack?
And shortly after you see that, a crew of about 10 to 15 heavily, like, clothed children burst out of a snowbank, take this guy down, bury him in snow, pack the snow down on top of him, leaving a little hole for him to breathe, and then one of them stays and sits on top of this thing. And then the others disappear back into the snowdrifts.
They claim their prize.
And none of you have been in the North Ward during Midwinter before. Ezra, you've been in Waterdeep, but this is definitely not something that they do in all the wards. This is a little weird.
I want to say I was in the Sea Ward. I think that's where
so.
my apartment was.
Yeah, I think
So
it's
if we
like
sit here to
Sea
watch a little bit
Ward,
longer,
edge
what
of Castle Ward.
eventually, like, does a kid eventually get off and the dude just kind of get up?
I mean, you see like a few minutes goes by, right? And then another gang of kids shows up and kind of collects that kid. And then that guy stays ostensibly like captured for a little while, probably about 20 or 30 minutes before another similarly garbed man kind of trundles up, waddling through the snow, and freeze this guy. And there's some like game going on. Yeah,
freeze tag. Like,
yeah, there's some game going on between the adults and children of the North Ward, in which the adults make themselves very big, loud, open targets, and they don't resist. You see this happen a couple more times throughout the morning, where they don't do anything. They just let the children ambush them and bury them in snow, and then go about their business.
Is this happening like at the ass crack of dawn, or is this like
pretty fucking early? It starts. It wouldn't be the ass crack of dawn. But it would be pretty early, probably close to like 7:30 or 8 in the morning.
Okay. So I might have already migrated down to the bar.
Yeah. You guys would be in various different states of awakened, doing different things, etc., etc.
I would inquire with Sine.
So actually, there aren't any employees here yet because the bar is closed on Midwinter. They are going to be gathering this evening. They've said kind of like approximately around 5-ish or something like that to do the Shialia kind of feast. They'll be bringing pets, that whole thing. But there is food. You know, there's food. Kind of like put away for you guys and put away for the feast and things like that. So you're able to break your fast. You can, converse with Lith, that whole type of situation.
I mean, I'd be reading or going through the books or any some such.
Easy peasy. So after that kind of like random assortment for the morning's business, what is it that people want to do today, if anything?
I assume shops are not open today, so I intend to...
Yeah. You could try, but it's probably unlikely that you'll find what you want. There are certain shops that stay open for differing types of things. Some people stay open just because, they both kind of like live and work in the same place. Right? Like that type of scenario. Like, the Wormbone is technically open today because that's where Ochotu stays. So if someone wanders into the Wormbone, Ochotu's not going to be like, get the fuck out. Right? But it's kind of like a crapshoot. So if you want to try to accomplish something, you could, maybe. But
if I know the general sentiment is that most people are closed and doing stuff, then I'm perfectly fine.
Yep. Waiting a day. Sounds good.
Yeah, socializing with Seltzor. Maybe introduce him to the dragons.
Nice.
If that is acceptable.
Seltzor will be quite excited to have guests first and foremost, but also to know that those guests are dragons. He talks of it in kind of like a very, because it's a secret, right? They're in disguise. Yeah. So he'll talk of it in very hushed whispers. And hushed both whispers. Right, like hushed, yeah, right. Loud squawking. But Oranax and Nindeltath are both the kind of individuals. They're not hot. Well, Nindeltath is somewhat haughty, but Nindeltath is also kind of moody at the moment, so he's less haughty than he otherwise would be. He's dealing with some shit. Exactly, right? So, like, there is definitely kind of this vibe coming from both of them that they're entertained, and enjoying each other's company and enjoying this pseudo dragon's company as well. So there's good conversation back and forth from them, and they're not disrespectful or condescending towards Seltzor or anything like that.
Good.
That some dragons might otherwise be towards one such as
Something. Yeah.
E. So yeah.
And then I'd probably take.
It's a very interesting looking floofy boy.
I see some puppers.
Anyways,
And then I'd probably take some time just going through our recent adventures with Seltzor and
awesome.
making notes and doing all that kind of stuff.
Do me a favor. We're gonna do like a story-ish telling check. You can either roll me persuasion or performance.
That's an easy decision.
25.
25.
Seltzor is thoroughly entertained, enraptured by all the stories that you tell. And Seltzor will tell you his own tales of his little adventures of chasing mice. And there's a couple cats that come around that he doesn't chase, that he's friends-ish with. But, well, there's one cat that he's friends with, and then the other cats are mostly mean to him, but he'll be friends with them eventually, right? And there's something that flies, and he tries to avoid that because it's big and it takes the rats. But he's on it. He's gonna figure out what it is, cause it's up to no good. And also, he'll tell you occasionally he tries to follow Leandri around, but she always finds him. She always knows he's there, unfortunately. But yeah, he's having adventures, and also reading the books that you have left for him. Though not to any real success yet, unfortunately.
Sure. Take your time.
Are you okay? She's dying. Okay. God. That look. The look of death. I was hoping it had changed in the past hour. Anyways. Cool.
And that's kind of my day, or
Sure. Would you like to try to get a work day in on book research?
if I can do that before the
You can absolutely do that.
festivities.
Yeah, it doesn't all have to be in like one, slight compressed situation. So throughout your day, you can do various tasks. After the celebration, you could potentially do more tasks, etc., etc. So, what would you like to do for your booktivities?
What do I want to do? Because I just look at investigation and see how many times I've failed, and it's like,
Every time you fail, it stacks up, though.
It's true. I guess I'll continue on my investigation hype train.
Okay. Fine.
9. Can I burn Cirque points on
Yeah,
this?
absolutely.
Fuck no. 24. It's a little bit better.
Significantly
A little
better. Alrighty. Investigation. Okay. Actually, me hit the 24. Okay.
Wait, that was the roll?
No, you didn't need exactly a 24, but the base DC is fairly high. Because it's intended to be a journey of repeated discovery, right?
Yep.
So things that you note. Just so I can corroborate. What have
I know that R's that come after A's have a curly Q off of the right leg of the R.
Okay.
And N's that come after A's have a curly Q that come off the right top of the N in a devil's tail, kind of a spade shape, in the bottom.
Gotcha.
In the bottom line. Those are the only 2 successes I have with investigation thus far.
Gotcha.
That I have noted, unless I missed something.
You notice a very weird occurrence as you're reading through, making notes, and you've probably done this. You've done this several times already. But while you're making notes, you'll make notes, and you'll realize those notes are gibberish and they amount to nothing because you just found something that contradicts all the fucking notes that you took, and it's like, right? But this is part of the discovery of patterns and things like that. And the writing throughout this book not only shifts constantly. You'll go to a page, it'll say one thing, you'll go back to a page, and it'll say a different thing, right? And a lot of times the things that they say are gibberish, like completely nonsensical, just words or letters strung together, not even words, right? And then other times it'll be actual, like, passages of information, right? So a very big mix of what the fuck is going on in this book. Your discovery today is that after you notice it for a little while, right? It doesn't happen forever, but after you notice it for a little while, every single A has what looks to be like 4 little spurs jutting off of them. 1 on each leg and then 2 at the top, like little horns. And they look like little kind of like plus signs, right? Kind of like jutting off from each situation. So every A that you see for a little while just has 4 little spurs jutting off of them.
And this is just every A period, no addendums, this, that, or the other way.
No
every
addendums.
A has 4 spurs.
Every A has 4 spurs.
Noted.
Damn, like the whiskers of a cat.
Except
Not
the
a...
plus signs.
It's
Anyways. That's that.
Cool. Thank you.
All right.
Mitch is otherwise disposed, so
No
Yep.
worries.
everyone else distract as
Yeah.
necessary. React.
Anybody
So-
do anything else?
if we know, right, is the intention for us to do some shit here, go back down, deal with whatever we're gonna deal with, and then come up at a later time to, like, potentially call in our favors for the Avrandar War, or is, like, this the time we need to, like, start making plans with those people? Everybody's gone.
I feel like I can answer this question, and if I'm incorrect, other people can addend what I have said. Okay.
Mhm.
So I
This is
feel
the
like
time to make plans.
I feel like what the plan is that Matashtai is down for 3 more days, right?
Mhm.
Because of his resurrection sickness. Although he can still do stuff, it's probably not a good idea to rush off into severe danger, right?
Right.
And that the next immediate agenda is to find a way to Dalcor to find and potentially rescue Valena if need be, right?
Right.
So you've got 3 days-ish running to do that type of stuff, and then however long it takes to do the Valena stuff, who knows, right?
Yep.
And then the intention is to go back down, right? And do whatever needs to be done to make war possible, right? Because House Freth has told you there are obstacles in the way, right? And then war will commence, right? the idea being that now, these next couple days, is probably the time to talk to your allies and say, hey, this thing is coming up. Be prepared for the go button.
Prepared.
Now, is that track for everyone, or have I said
Yes,
anything incorrect?
All right.
Okay.
Got a thumb up.
You're getting a thumb up from Jake. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Okay.
That's good enough for me. All right. I would like to take a trip to the Blackstaff Tower.
Sure. All the way across the city.
Yeah, it's gonna take a bit, but
It is. It's chilly without your coat, my dude.
really.
I'm just gonna. That's the only thing I got. I'm just gonna hammer it. I'm just be like, it's cold.
No, it's good.
It's
It's
cold.
good. Rub it in. Just rub
So,
in.
you
That
are
master took
able. You're able to make your way across the city to the Blackstaff's Tower. You see on your way that the market has basically been turned into 3 ginormous ice skating rinks. The grand open market, right? Has been turned into 3 massive ice skating rinks. One is kind of like it's basically divided up into tiers of experience, right? Where there is one that is significantly smaller and just for like kids or adults that are learning, that type of scenario. And then there's one that is for more experienced individuals. And then there's a third one where there's actual kind of like shows and displays of skill and things like that going on. And there's various little crowds, even early in the morning. As you are traveling, you witness, as you're traveling through the North Ward, you witness more of this weird kind of like children ambushing the adults with snowballs and then burying them in snow scenario. But as you travel to other parts of the city, or kind of like through down the high road and then through the castle ward, you see more traditional like snowball fights going on. Different communities kind of like gathered in differing types of revelries. And you do see a couple of those points that I had mentioned last time, which is kind of like the beginnings of the Swords Cast Down festivities. Festivities is kind of like quotations here. There's like food and drink being supplied by the acolytes of Lyra. But it's mostly just kind of like a somber procession of people bringing weaponry and committing themselves to peace over the course of the next year. Definitely not something that you're going to be doing. So
You don't know.
you make your
What
way.
brings the peace?
Look, I don't know. You're right. I don't know. Who am I to judge?
We're creating peace.
This near brush with Matashtai's death has caused Ashes to realize that he wants to give up the sword.
Yeah, it's time.
All right, look forward to your
Good
next
run.
character.
Good run.
Good run. All right, you make your way to the Blackstaff Tower. Walk up the steps. There's that familiar, the hallway, kind of like the steps distorting and feeling longer until you all of a sudden step on the top step. You make your way into the foyer. You see the disconcerting elven man standing there, as he always is, Hastades, who greets you. Ah, young master, you have returned. It feels like it has been only yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, it actually hasn't really been all that long. I guess just a few days, but in
Been a
J time,
handful.
it's been like that was like last year.
I understand the warping of time and space. He gives you this far off look, like his eyes become like little mini balls of space for a moment.
I'll like lean in and not even say it to him. I'll be like, maybe you've been here a bit too long.
Maybe I have.
Do you get holidays? Do you get to leave? Do you live here?
He says it in that kind of very deadpan voice. I can leave whenever I want.
Do you need help? Blink twice for yes.
He blinks
How many times?
once.
Okay.
You just kind of wait an overly long time for the second blink to come, but it never does.
Okay.
Can I help you
Sandra
this
available.
morning?
Oh, sorry. What?
Can I help you this morning, young
Oh,
master?
yes. I was wondering if Vajra is not in the middle of saving the world right now.
I could not tell you, but you're welcome to look for her if you choose.
Yeah, I will.
Good luck. The
Gonna need it.
halls can be strange this time of year.
Hmm.
I hear
amongst
they
other
are.
things. The halls? All of them?
He looks at you and he doesn't quite know where to go with it. It's obvious like he tried something there, but he's just not sure where to go now.
Don't change.
All right. You walk away. Okay. There's no.
I love how
smooth
there's
ending
not
with
been a
this, obviously.
single time interactions with this person has not been awkward as fuck.
Death
Death
okay.
and taxes and Hestatus being weird. Just things in life.
That's how it be. Okay, what are you doing?
I open a door and go in it.
He starts. He opens the door and he starts investigating. Roll me an investigation check.
I think of Vajra while I'm willing it into. I'm sorry. What did you say?
To belay what I said, don't roll an investigation check. Roll me a wisdom check.
Wisdom check. Okay. Wisdom. 15.
You kind of think you're like, need to see Vajra. If I think about it hard enough, right? Like this will be the door. And you throw a door open, and it is not only is Vajra not behind the door, it's just a stone wall behind the door. And you feel a little trickle of blood come down out of your nose.
Oh. I know how this tower works. I close the door, I think about it again, and I open up the exact same door.
It's still a stone wall.
Damn it.
You hear a voice from about 15 feet down the hallway.
Don't be blood.
That says, I don't think he's okay. Are you okay? Are you an imbecile?
I feel like that's a loaded question. There's a lot to unpack there.
You see a familiar...
Ashes, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay, Ashes.
You see a familiar face, person, presence. You see a familiar doorknob.
Right. Oh, shit. Hold on. Hey, hello. God, I can't remember its name. You?
The lion-headed doorknob, Periwinkle! How dare you forget me? You miscreant! You foul hooligan! You're just...
I didn't forget you. Otherwise, how would I have remembered to bring this? And I'll reach into my bag of holding that I just filled with a bunch of random shit that I had and pull out an oil flask.
Well, I'll be. Is that what I think it is?
Yeah, it is. How long's it been?
Not that long. Obviously lying.
Parched?
Obviously lying.
Well, here, for my favorite doorknob, and I'll open the flask and give him some oil.
Because it's not like an oil can, which it has like a little dispenser
it's
or
a-
anything. It's
it's
just a flask of oil. You're just like dumping. It's like It's not. Can you rub it in? It's kind of like just.
Yep.
It's just splashing down. It's all over the floor. It's such a waste.
It's
The left side. There's a bunch of cracks that it's not quite getting into. Can you like?
I'll, work it in.
What are you doing?
God damn it! I was helping a friend. I'm super helpful. Just trying to be a helpful person.
You
How are you
hear
doing, Vadra?
You hear the voice of the Blackstaff behind you. You turn and see Vadra Safar in a oddly festive getup for her. I say oddly festive getup for her because it's still mostly black, but it is a gown, and there are hues of green and red here or there, right? And she definitely looks as if she is prepared to go to some sort of gathering or ceremony or something.
I will not draw attention to it.
She looks
Act as
at
though
you,
it's
and
just
you're kind of
normal.
like leaned over, and your hands are covered in oil. You've been rubbing it all over this lion-headed doorknob, and then you just wipe it on the front of yourself. Periwinkle looks up at you, looks at Vajra, and looks like he's caught in flagrante, and then just closes his eyes, and you see him squeeze. You hear kind of like the grind of metal, and you see the lion-headed doorknob go and in on itself, and it just disappears. And there's now not a doorknob to this door.
Cool.
And Vajra looks just disgusted.
Yeah, anyways, yes, I was, oh God, this is, all right, getting everywhere now. All right. Listen, we've kind of hit a roadblock on our way
thank
down.
God you had something else other than this. I was very
That came to
concerned that
Blackstaff
you were
House.
just here
Just-
because of this.
No, I did not come here to oil your sentient doorknob. That's not a euphemism.
I tried not to judge.
Good. Yeah, no, I was just, look, he thought I'd forgot who he was, and I felt bad, and I was like, hey!
Kind of like
you're
narrows her eyes at you. Did you?
his name, but I remembered that he's here.
Well, he has a bit of a doorknob, so
Periwinkle is not a common name that comes up every now and then. I guess that's more to the point of I shouldn't have forgot. Anyways,
her eyebrows kind of raise, and she's like, Periwinkle?
what do you know him as?
I thought his name was Hubert. She looks confused.
All right. Like I said, we're hitting a bit of a roadblock on our way down. There is House Avrindar, the Drow house, has
Didn't
pretty
you
much
already
pulled-
kill them, like, multiple
Yes,
times?
So some of them, some of the like a bit, but
So it takes you
apparently the
multiple
house-
times to kill things. Gotcha.
Well, I mean, they're not coming back. There's just many of them. Many of them, a lot of them, and so many. So there's probably going to be maybe something that you might consider a war with them. in the future.
She kind of like arches an eyebrow. A war, really? Is it gonna be just a big fight with like, you know, two sides and?
Yes, it's going to be a fight with two sides.
It's a battle,
but
Ashes. That's a battle. We only call them wars if it's like multiple battles over the course of.
Okay, thank you for actualing me, but it's.
Flash of magic.
We're calling in favors. Just our small group of 4 people aren't big enough,
and
I was wondering.
Hubert owed you a favor?
No, that was. I was. Just ignore the Hubert thing. Like, just please pretend you didn't see that. Anyways, we're up here for a little bit before going back down, but we wanted to see if we could call in some favors. And I'm wondering if there would be like a contingent of black staff, our gray hands, that you might be willing to temporarily ally with us for this upcoming battle.
Roll me a persuasion check with advantage, because you are a part of the Grey Hands, and you work directly for Vajra on very important business. I'll give you a +2 as well.
Very important business.
That is a 23 with a +2.
Nice, okay.
That's good. Let's go roll.
Vajra gives you this kind of like deep, like sigh, like inconvenienced sigh.
Yeah, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Jay, you rolled perception?
Oh.
Yeah, that is.
Well, I mean, what's your persuasion?
Compared to your charisma.
Yeah, what's your persuasion?
Persuasion is actually a -1 instead of a +6.
Okay, so that's a -7, so it's a 16.
So 14, 16, yeah.
Yeah, 16 instead of a 23. Okay, there we go.
I clicked the wrong keyword.
Okay. She still gives you a heavy sigh, and she says, the Grey Hands aren't exactly in the business of having battalions or even squads, really. But I'll see what I can do. What's your timeline?
I'll kind of briefly explain like what me and you talked about when, you know, pretty much everybody was AFK. It was like, we're gonna be up here for a few days. We're gonna go back down. We've got some other things to handle before
4
the
to 10 days sound approximate enough?
Probably about in a full week.
I'll see what we can do. I would not expect us to field a company of troops, but mayhaps we'll have some daring do ne'er-do-wells, or at the very least perhaps some scouts or some divination wizards that can maybe gain you a little bit of intel.
Right. Like, yeah, any boons, even if it's not directly fighting, is still going to be very much
Are you coming back
appreciated.
up, or are you just sending word? Or are you unsure of which?
I don't think we're coming back up. So we're gonna be on the
If that's the case, visit me before you leave. If I have anything physical to give you, I will do so then. Otherwise, I will try to make sure that our preparations of personnel are prepared should we receive some sort of signal.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'll just let you know we're trying. And maybe trying a bit too hard. Matashtai kind of died.
Kind of?
No, he did die. It's just that we curried favor with somebody who was willing to undead him. So
Shrugs. Then things proceed as planned. I know you think me crass and rude, Ashes. But if I did not think that you were trying, we would not be having this conversation. If I did not think you had no chance of succeeding, we would not be having this conversation.
Well, I appreciate the vote of confidence.
I did not say I believed you would succeed, just that you have a chance.
I rescind my gratitude.
Shrugs again. um, I am glad that your efforts were able to make certain that your ally was returned to you. I do think that we chose wisely when we all came together and put you four on this path. I do think that it is important for all four of you to continue on this path. I do not know that you will all make it to the end of its destination, though.
I'm gonna try.
Good.
Because I'm just, despite obligations to you and the city, I have my own stakes in this.
She looks
I
at
wanna
you,
take-
and she gives you this kind of like, almost oh honey look.
All right. Good talk.
She looks at you and she says, "You came highly recommended, and we have every reason to trust agents of the Order. But at the end of the day, you don't owe this city anything, and you are not obligated to me. We expected each of you would fulfill what we desired of you, because we had several powerful divinations or diviners say that you were good choices, that there would be reasons for all of you to be invested in this."
Kind of divination magic and read that far into the future. Jeez. Magic's crazy.
Don't believe it. Don't believe it.
Ezra's over here just
It's all
like,
bullshit.
this is
It's all bullshit.
bullshit.
It's all bullshit.
Divination's bullshit. Fucking
Mm.
prophets, bullshit. All right.
Okay.
Vajra just kind of like gives you a nod. She says, "This is not intended to diminish your input in any way, shape, form, or fashion. The diviners are not always correct, but we do use their guidance, and in this particular instance, it seems that they have guided us correctly. So, good. I'm glad you're invested. I will do what I can to assist. Hopefully this will work out well. And I know you will try your best. From both your obligations and your own investments."
Well, I know you're constantly a busy person, so I don't want to eat up any more of your time.
Roll me a perception check.
All right. The other P word. The one that actually get a +6. Oh boy.
Ba-dum-bum.
It's a 23.
23 is good. Yeah, 23 is good enough. Because I don't think she's trying too hard. You realize that throughout this conversation, Vajra has been casting spells.
Just seeing hand gestures.
No,
and-
you're not. That's the thing. You're not seeing hand gestures. You're not
Oh.
seeing hand gestures. You're not seeing her say anything. You're not seeing her do anything. But you can feel the magic kind of ripple off of her here or there. And if only specifically you are feeling it because, or you're able to kind of like identify it because you're used to it. You've seen it a lot. You've seen Ezrah do both of these things quite a bit.
Silent casting. Yeah.
Not just that, but also what is being cast. You know that towards the beginning of the conversation, Vajra puts up a magic detection spell, and throughout the conversation, she is hitting you and various pieces on your body with identification spells.
Alright,
And towards the
whatever.
end of this conversation, she is just kind of staring, not daggers, but very suspiciously at Zalara.
Well, she can. But as I start walking away, and like I'm about to walk away, I'll like stop and be like, by the way, you said you mentioned the order, right? Do you have any information about somebody else from the Order of Sharp Teeth? One Borden Brooks. He's in the city. Well, in the mountain.
You see her
The
kind of like
Undermountain.
pause, and she kind of like thinks for a moment, almost kind of like visibly like mind palacing for a moment type scenario. And she kind of blinks and looks back at you. I'm familiar with the name and his tenure within the order. I thought him more a recruiter than a field agent.
A lot of us wear multiple hats out there. It's not super uncommon.
Well, your order goes through its changes in roster on the occasion. Dangerous
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, I know. All right. Well, I mean, if you didn't have anything extra, that's fine. Just throwing out feelers.
Is there something specific you're seeking?
Him. He's down there, and we're trying to catch up.
Well, you have a direction, at the very least.
Yeah. It's always down.
She looks at you and just sighs. Like, she feels that, right? Like, it's always down.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, you have a good day.
She kind of like wishes you well, but it's very obvious, right? Like that she is not relishing whatever she is going off to. So you split, you go your separate ways. You make your way out of Blackstaff Tower, I'm assuming.
Yep, I do.
Anything else that you are trying to accomplish on this day? Again, the idea that you guys can partake with the festivities if you want. You can do whatever you want, with the assumption being that you guys are meeting back up for the evening's festivities at the Lifted Spirits. But again, if you don't want to, you don't have to.
Yeah. In fact, I'm gonna make it a point, to actually go back to the Troll Skull and get some, take like a good nap. I want to actually get some sleep in early, because I want to spend some of the night at the Temple of the Moon. So I'm gonna go ahead and catch a bit of the necessary 8 hours ahead of time.
Sounds like a plan. Do you want to try? Are you gonna try to do any daily alchemy work or anything like that, or are you gonna try to like get in a?
God. Yes.
Oh,
All right. What I want to do, Jeremy,
Yep.
is I have actually. I have two things I want to do. So I'm going to do the one first and see how it goes. And depending on the one thing, in fact, I'm going to find Matt.
Yep.
And be like, hey, you know those drugs you got? I'm going to see. I'm going to see. I've got this potion right here, and I've got the potion of Hill Giant Strength, right? I'm going to see if I can't break this down. And if I can successfully do so that I can make these on my own, I'll look at your drugs and see if I can't do the same for those and start manufacturing those. So,
all right, sounds good.
Cool. All right. So, Jeremy, I am going to take my for the next downtime stuff. I want to see if I can't take this potion of Hill Giant Strength and break it down into its individual components. The toenail is going to be the easy part.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, if I like take a bit of the potion, boil it down, and see what remains, and it'd be like a powder, and I can try to figure out what that is, and I can take some more liquid and
Sure.
like mix
Yeah.
it with different other liquids to see if it changes color and flavor, and see if I can't deduce what parts are in that, and
And
eventually just do a bunch of little tests here and there.
Science the
Fantabulous.
shit out of it.
yes, fantabulous. Okay, what you are going to do is you are, and don't roll anything before I explain the scenario, okay? You are going to be making alchemy checks for this, okay? The alchemy check that you need to make is going to be based off of the rarity of the item. This is an uncommon item. A potion of hill giant strength is an uncommon item. So you're going to be basing your alchemy check off of that. The item that you are trying to deconstruct only has so much in existence for you to work with. So if you fail too many times, specifically if you fail three times,
it's just going.
there's not enough to work with anymore,
It
and you're
has been
out. You have
consumed.
to reacquire the potion in order to try to continue to do this situation. So each day that you do this, each work day that you work on this deconstruction process, you can make a roll in order to try to accomplish this. This will probably be the way that this works roughly for all things going forward, unless we figure out a way that we want to do it better. But what this means is that uncommon things definitely within your wherewithal to accomplish, right? Higher things are going to be difficult, and losing a higher rarity consumable item is not a nice thing or not a cheap thing. So it could result in a situation where you get nothing out of it, unfortunately. And this is just to basically unlock the recipe, okay? So your DC for this is going to be a 15. You need to make an alchemy check. You got to beat a 15.
Right. Alchemy. So I don't know what what I should be rolling. My alchemist supplies do say 9 on them.
Gotcha. Let me double check.
I think in the future I was rolling that.
Yeah, so the way that alchemy supplies typically work is utilizing Arcana and Investigation checks, but I don't like those for these particular situations because you're not really doing a whole lot of like magic imbuement necessarily.
Yeah.
You are doing more like the science-y side of things. So what we are going to do is this is just gonna be an intelligence check, right? But it is going to add your proficiency because you gained proficiency through your training with the Guild of Apothecaries.
I have my intelligence is 19 because I'm wearing a thing.
You're wearing
That's great.
That's actually
Smart
going to matter.
boy.
So
I'm a smart boy.
you're
All
actually a
right.
smart boy right now. So that gives you a +4, and your proficiency modifier is like a +5 now or whatever.
Yeah, proficiency is 5.
So you have a +9. So you just need to roll a 6 or higher.
Yep. All right. Well, here I'll just roll a d20 then.
Yep.
And if it's a 6 or higher, we're good. Surely I won't fuck this up. I fucked it up.
The 4. That's one usage of the potion down. So
Yeah.
statistically,
Dude, I fucking jinxed it again.
statistically likely that you will succeed. However, could get dicey. Okay. That's the time that you have to work on it. You're gonna rest a little bit, etc., etc. We are going to, I think, at that point, go ahead and go to break. when we reconvene here in just a few minutes, we'll see what Matashtai and Bones are up to for midwinter, and then probably rejoin the party and see if any fun activities happen on the evening, etc., etc. So, we will see you all back for more Dungeons of the Mad Mage in just a few minutes. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.